So this is the stock system of nomenclature. This is dealing with the D block elements that can form more than one ion. So those D block elements can form more than one positive cation. Some of them, but not all of them. So if you look either at your ion sheet or at your periodic table, you'll see that some of them have more than one ion. Iron is a good example. Iron plus 2 and iron plus 3. It can form two different ions, and the properties of the compound vary depending on which ion is used. So we need to be very specific about which ion we're dealing with. So if it's iron plus 2, we use a Roman numeral after the word iron as part of the name. So we say iron 2 or iron 3, and we use Roman numerals. So that's really the only thing we're going to add. So today we're going to talk about adding into the formulas and names, but this time we're going to look at the cations that can have more than one charge. So take a minute to look at your ion sheet. If you look here at the ion sheet, we'll see that we have more than one, some of them here have more than one ion. Notice that all of them are D block elements, transition elements. You see here chromium has 2 ions. We can have chromium plus 2 or chromium plus 3. Cobalt can form 2 ions. Copper can form 2 ions. Iron, lead, then we continue down here, we see manganese, mercury, nickel, and tin. Those are the ones on our list that can form more than one ion. So anytime you have a compound or a formula that deals with a D block element, you want to make sure you pay careful attention to this list. Now, not every D block element can form more than one ion. Take a minute here, look. Silver and zinc are both D block elements, but they do not form more than one ion. So you only use the Roman numeral if it does form more than one ion. So your first clue is D block transition element, then we'll check this list to see if it does or doesn't. All right? You notice after the words there are some italicized words. For iron 2 is ferrous and iron 3 is ferric. Those are an older system of naming that's still somewhat in use, but the stock system with Roman numerals is the more modern way to name, and that's the way we'll be doing it. Okay? So always keep this ion sheet with you. Whenever we're going to name a compound that uses a D block element, it gets a little trickier. Right? There's a little bit more we have to pay attention to. The writing the formulas, the name already tells you the charge, so that's really a lot easier than even it was yesterday. But the naming, we have to really pay attention to what was going on, because in the formula CuCl2, I don't know what copper was involved. Because if I look at copper on my ion sheet, what can copper do? Copper can form ions that are what? I can form copper plus 1, and I can form copper plus 2. If I form copper, so I can have copper plus 1, and I can have copper plus 2. Both of them, and the copper is bonded to the chloride ion. So if I have, and how many chloride ions do I have? I have 2 chloride ions. So the copper plus 1 with the chloride ions, 1 chloride ion, which copper does it have to be? Is it it copper plus 1? Or is it copper plus 2? It's copper plus 2. So the copper 2 ion is the one that is bonded with the chlorine. So then we write the name as copper plus 2 chloride. So you have to do a little kind of working backwards. So where did this 2 come from in the formula? The 2 didn't come from the copper. The 2 came from, didn't come from the chlorine rather. 2 came from the plus 2 on the copper side. Let's do a couple examples. You want a couple examples in your notes. Alright? So let's write the formula and give the name. So copper plus 2 and bromine minus 1. If I have copper plus 2 and bromine minus 1, when we do the crisscross method here, we're going to take the 2, comes over here to bromine, and the minus 1 comes over here to copper. So we need Cu, Br2. That will be the formula. Then the name, C copper. Look at your ion sheet. Does copper have more than one ion? Yes. Do we need a Roman numeral? Yes. Copper 2, bromine. Iron plus 2 and oxygen minus 2. Iron plus 2, oxygen minus 2. If the charges are the same, do we need to do anything? No. So we just write FeO. Iron can form more than one ion. When I look at the ion sheet, it has Roman numerals there. So if there's Roman numerals on your ion sheet, there's Roman numerals in your name. So the name for this compound is iron, Roman numeral 2, oxide. And you just read the name as iron 2 oxide, knowing that 2 is a Roman numeral in parentheses. Right? So, let's do a couple more. How about number 3? Plus 2, minus 1, CbCl2.
Lead chloride.
Okay, close. Just look at your ion sheet. Does lead need a Roman numeral? What does Roman numerals for? What does Roman numerals tell us? What's this mean? It means this number right here. The Roman numeral tells me the charge of the ion. Okay? So, does lead need a Roman numeral?
Yes.
Yes. So what would be the name then? Lead 2 chloride. You have to be specific in with Roman numerals because it does depend on the charge of the ion, what the properties of the compound are. Right? For example, let's look down here at number 6. Iron plus 3 and oxygen. It's same as number 2, iron and oxygen, right? But is the formula going to be the same for iron 3 versus iron 2? Now for this one down here, plus 3 minus 2, Fe2O3. Different formula, different compound. This one is iron 3 oxide. So the Roman numeral does make a difference because iron 2 has FeO as its formula. Iron 3 has Fe2O3 as its formula, and they have different properties because they are different compounds. So that does make a difference. Alright? So pay attention to your Roman numerals. Let's look for a minute at Number 4, Hg is mercury. Look at your ion sheet of mercury. There's mercury 2. This is mercury 2. But mercury 1 is a little bit, the formula for mercury 1 looks a little bit different. Notice it says Hg. It's Hg2 plus 2. It's considered mercury 1 because each atom has a plus 1 charge, but there's 2 of them. So it's written a little differently. So just pay attention to that for mercury. This would be just HGS, mercury, Roman numeral 2, sulfide. Though mercury is kind of unique there, it is ion. This is it. Okay? Very good on these? Alright. So let's work on naming. Okay? So, Cu and O. Best practice is to first, okay, copper. Take a minute. It is a transition element. So I need to check my ion sheet. Is it going to need a Roman numeral? Check your ion sheet. Does it need a Roman numeral? Yes, it does. Okay? So what are my options? I've got copper plus 1 and copper plus 2. Combined with oxygen. What's the charge for oxygen? Look up, you have to always look that up. It's -2. So which of the coppers combined with the oxygen to give this formula? It was copper plus 2. Then the name then would be copper 2 oxide. Number 2, cobalt and fluorine. Cobalt, transition element, check your ion sheet. Does it need a Roman numeral? Yes, it does. What are my options for cobalt? We have cobalt plus 2 and cobalt plus 3. Combining with fluoride, which its charge is always -1. So which of the 2 cobalts combined with fluoride to make this formula COF3? It was cobalt 3. So cobalt 3 fluoride is the name for this compound. So really what you're doing is you're looking up the charge for the second ion and then determining where did this 3 come from. Where did it come from? It came from the cobalt. So, SnI4. Sn is 10. Does 10 have more than 1 ion? Yes. What are my choices? 10-2 and 10-4. And then combining with iodine, which is a -1. So which of the 10s? It's 10-4. You bet. 10-4 did better. I did. No, we got it. So 10-4 iodine. All right. So we good here? A little more examples? Are we good? All right. We'll stop there for now.